Okay. I've been looking forward to this watch for years. Because it's right towards the end of my line of work that needs to be done. It's so neat. This gentleman, this watch belonged to the owner's father, and his father worked in a chemical factory. And so you get this crazy, beautiful dial patina. It's just nuts. I've never seen anything like it. But look, the lume is perfect. And it's unfaded. Really is something. And obviously it's a runner. Okay, let's get it rolling. All right, I think I'm ready to start. Sorry about the barking. It's become increasingly hard to make videos because of COVID restrictions and everybody quarantining and being stuck in the house and going insane. So it just gets louder and louder and louder. Yeah. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeederino. Ooh, look at that. That's what we call original. But perfectly clean inside. Huh? Looks like that one's loose too. Okay, let us begin. Okay. For the love of God, come on. Don't need that one. That goes back over there. Don't need this one. I put it in the wrong place. That's what she said. Okay. Yep, totally loose. Let's see about this one. Yeah, that one's pretty tight. Yeah, clean. Look at that. Wow. Not a lot of, I don't know, I'd say this one doesn't have a lot of miles on it, despite the wear from the chemicals. Let me make sure that everybody can see what the heck I'm doing. Hold on. Okay. Got rid of the little bit of power that was in there. Good. Come on. Ugh. Look at that. Isn't that fun? All the gruck and the hardened seal in there. I'll get those cleaned out in just a second. Same deal here. Yucky. But in the meantime, let's get balance out of here. Yeah, you can see actually there's some, no water ever got in, but there's some sort of odd sort of fractal staining on the metal. can't imagine what those kind of chemicals, they must have been very penetrative to be able to make it inside the watch. Through those seals, very fine molecules must have been. Intact and complete, and crown is packed with garbage, and that's real normal. There you go. All right. Yes, indeedy. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Oh, that feels okay. Cannon pinion feels good. Hands look good. Let me pull this handset. It's interesting looking at this really closely. The clear lacquer on the top, it actually has crazing. That's something you normally see in like really, really, really old acrylic crystals, old lacquer, old clear finishes like on an old guitar. Do you see the sort of the highlights? They show up as you turn it. You can see the cracks right through the top. So that is where we get all these things from, because these marks are where oxygen can get through the clear and to the metal layer underneath, and where oxygen can get in, then it will patina to dark. So that's what happened. Look at the crazing. Look at that. You see it flicking around? That is so cool. But that does mean that as this watch is worn and exposed to oxygen, you're going to get a lot more of these flaky, flecky things. It's just the way it's going to be. Okay. So here's this. Would you stop wiggling? Why does everything fight me? Okay, so here's this original dial. Those little things in there. What these brown marks are, this is where there's some kind of opening in the clear coat, and it allows oxygen to get through to the metal layer beneath. And that's where you get these patinas. So you see it's got all these little flicky flacky things, right? Look inside the top clear coat. See those little like scratchy like marks? That's actually crazing. That's cracking in the top clear coat lacquer from the chemicals. You see this kind of crazing in like old acrylic crystals, old thick finishes, like old finish of a old guitar on an old clear coat. You get this kind of crazing going on. Isn't that amazing? I've never seen it before that I can remember. So what's going to happen though is that whenever oxygen gets through, it's going to patina. So any place that there's one of these cracks, you're going to start getting patinaing underneath it. So this is going to progress. Now you can pull all the markers and the date window and the applied Seiko and then clear coat over the top of it and then put everything back, and you probably stop that patina cold. If it were mine, I'd consider doing that. But it isn't. And it would probably be a ton of work, so not gonna go that route. Okay, let me make sure that this is where it needs to be. Good. Okay. Let's look at those faces. I don't see any plow lines across them. these go over time as they flick back and forth, and the escape wheel can actually wear a very sort of shallow trough through the middle. But I don't see that, but I'll look at it more closely after it gets cleaned. Yep, loose. Look at that. Wasn't tight at all. No, sir. Nope, that one wasn't either. That one was loose as hell, too. So this, whoops, so look at that. Kapoink. So this thing probably stopped running because the screws were all coming loose, which is a good thing because that means that your dad put it away and it didn't have it ran out of oxygen on the inside, and so the dial didn't become any worse. Yeah, not a lot of miles. He didn't use the chronograph much at all either. You can tell that this hole is pretty flat. It's not pushed up on the one side from the force of the resets. That's nice. Yeah, it's going to be a nice piece when we're done. There it is. Oh, wrong tool for the job. Come on. I tend to like to use those pointy ones because they're so precise, but they're also not correct if you really want to hold something and not have it go kaspoink. Okay. We don't want things to go kaspoink, do we? Okay. That was nice and tight. Thank goodness. That one was good. That's good. So all the chrono bridge screws were loose, which means that it probably really was not happy running. Oh, that one's loose. Okay. There. Okay, let's see what we got under this. Huh, that's not bad. Chris doesn't really tell me much because I've unscrewed the bridge, so of course it's going to move. Still, though, this is all pretty clean. Would you come off of there? God. Ay, ay, ay. Come on. Out. Criminy. There we go. Yep, usual thing. There's some of your S2 lubricant. It worked its way out. Now, there you go. There's your chronograph wheel. Heart of the action. That is holding. Looks like your chronograph wheel is good, and that is a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. Yeah, even that, look, I mean, even with that little amount of wear, you can still see this got pushed out. You can actually see there's a little metal lip down there where this thing ground out to one side. Wild. Okay, so that's got to deal with that. Let's look inside the mainspring barrel. Screams of rage from children. Siblings fighting and fighting and fighting. Well, that's not bad. Certainly seen worse. Nah, that's okay. It's a little dirty, but gosh, I have seen so much worse. Yeah, that's okay. Mainspring's a little, yeah, it's coned out on one side. Okay, let me get this cleaned up. Okay, got it flipped. That stuff is all done. Now let's take this off. Yeah, look at that. Not a lot of sun fading. You always look at these when you look at the day wheels and see, look, they're exactly the same color, which means the one that was hidden is exactly the same color as the one that was out in the open, and they're the same. Not a lot of sun damage. Here's your seat clip. Boop. Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. Okay. Yeah, boy, is this thing clean. I mean, it's not like clean in the sense of like I just cleaned it, but doesn't have a lot of filth going on. Come on, you stop fighting me. Jeez. Okay, get all this stuff stripped out. It's a little stretched out. It's supposed to be a little tighter. Huh. Well, both the tabs are there. I'll clean that. We'll look at it a little more carefully. I tell you, it's getting harder and harder for me to make videos because there's just so much going on. And this is, it's just Grand Central Station down here. Everybody wants to be here. Look at how nice and shiny. There's your quick set lever. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. See? A lot of times, if these are really seeing a lot of time, this will be worn down to the brass. Nothing. Nice early one, too. Look. Metal intermediary date driving wheel. Nice. Come on. Boop. Okay, last thing. Let's just get this out of here. Okay. Center wheel and cannon pinion. And your Diashock spring. Okay, so for now, we're going to leave it for this. I got to take this apart. I'm also going to machine out this. I'm going to put a jewel in there. Yeah, you can absolutely see the, how ovaled out. This is the mainspring right there, mainspring port. You can see it has a faintly egg-shaped. Pushed up this way if you look at the thickness of this bevel. Okay, so I gotta get that out. Okay, out of the cleaners and starting to work on some things. Jewels are, Diashock settings are in. Lower lubrications are done. I don't need that one yet because that's the calendar. Here again, imagination. Okay. Sorry about that. Sabrina came in to see me and I had to take a quick break. Okay, so all this stuff is good and in and clean. There we go. Train and barrel bridge. Such fun stuff. I apologize in advance for any humming I might do. I heard a very old favorite song and it has been in my head. Super duper 80s song. Imagination by Zymox, aka Clan of Zymox. There's some Dutch new wave band. Dark wave, actually, I think the stuff is called now. I don't know. I've heard it so often I can't. I mean, over the decades since that song came out, I can't even say what it sounds like to somebody who's never heard it before. But I will tell you that the young lady who sings the song, I just thought she was fantastic back in the day. Exactly the kind of look and hairstyle, especially, that I liked. But she's older than me and she's Dutch. So when I was a teenager, there was no chance that I was going to be getting anywhere with that. Okay. All right. So there we are. You can see what I'm seeing. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Free running. Silent whisper, would you be here again? Imagination, the shadows away. And I feel lost. Okay, that's where that needs to be. There, this is bushing for the pillar wheel. I wonder where in the world Halo got the idea to name their ship Pillar of Autumn. Is it just some kind of poetical, nonsensical thing, or where'd they get that from? It's never occurred to me to think about it. I mean, it's a nice term, but it doesn't mean anything. Let's get this in where it is supposed to go. Come on. Imagination. Too many times. Yeah, I don't think too many people remember Clan of Zymox anymore. Just like no one remembers House of Love anymore. It's amazing actually how like House of Love just vanished, like they just don't exist. No one remembers them. It's another band that no one remembers from the old days. Catherine Wheel. Nobody remembers Catherine Wheel. And and they were a big deal in their time, and then they just went away. Uh-oh. My window's open, so you might hear Sebastian squeaking around outside. There. Again. And you be here. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting that I'm filming. Normally, if I was by myself, I'd go ahead and sing. I did a lot of voice work in high school and college. Singing was one of my things, so I kind of do it if I think that I'm alone and nobody's going to bug me. Oh, Doggy is so sad. Oh, no. Doggy, why are you sad? Okay, let me prep here. Let's get this going. Start to make some progress. Ugh, running out of time. I feel lost. Yeah, the young lady from Zymox at that time, she looked a whole lot like my college girlfriend. Well, I guess I had a type. We still got some schmutz on there. It's usually that stuff kind of floats in there and sticks to this spot. Not quite sure why. Definitely discolored the chrome. Isn't that weird? Anyway. No one remembers. No one should. 19 was a long time ago. I have come a decision. I feel you'll be here again. Imagination. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm humming without even thinking. Must be so annoying. I apologize if it's bothering you. Just turn your audio off. That's always the fun thing. Kapoink. Okay, get back off there. Come on now. Yeah, there are those dudes in the 80s that liked those metal girls with the tight spandex dresses and the gigantic hair. Listen to Def Leppard and rock and roll. I like new wave girls. That was where the action was. Yes, Rocket, I see you, I know. Why don't you just go upstairs? Mommy will let you in. I know you're sad. Come on, get in there. Ah, gosh, finally, it took you darn long enough. how much of the past is a dream? Sometimes I'm inclined to think all of it. Okay, one last thing to do. A little bit of S4 in there, because it works very well for the resetting. And let's drop this in place. Funny. Oh, come on. Okay, come on. Stop fighting me. Drop in. Yes, got it. Okay. It's funny thinking about my college girlfriend. I haven't spoken to her in gosh, 35 years? Nah, it can't be that long. So, 33 years maybe. Okay, we got spinning, and it's advancing the minute counter wheel. So let's close that up and let's look. Yep, the teeth of the mainspring barrel where they intersect the center wheel, it's exactly what we want to see. Cool. Okay. That means now let's clean off our stuff. Again and again. It's weird. I spent more time in Germany in the 80s than I ever did in the Netherlands. I don't think there's any chance I ever would have run into that young lady. I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever traveled through Holland. Now, my German girlfriend, she was something. I talked to her much more recently. It's funny, I actually was cleaning house and found all my boxes of letters and memorabilia and all communications from stuff. And I read through some of my German girlfriend's letters, and she wrote me one I opened up, and she was talking about how they were trying to figure out where they were going to move to because of Chernobyl had come too close to where they were. I was like, isn't that a time capsule, huh? Worrying about Chernobyl. It was fun being young, meeting girls and doing stuff. Not that I'm not having fun now, but it's a different kind of fun. All right, so it's time. Let's drop this balance. Well, something's happening. I mean, clearly, it's running, which is good news. It looks powerful. Look at that. Look at the balance, just steady as a rock. Cool. See if that kicks over. You look right there. There it is. Yep, look at that. Perfect. Okay. Let me, let's demag this thing and move it on. See what we get. Hang on just 1 second. Alrighty. Okay, so it's going to be the usual thing in that I am going to be adjusting any beat error, etc. off screen. $54.5. Okay, let's see what we get. Well, 238. I'm not bitching about that. Little bit of beat error, a little bit of gain, but I bet you anything, I adjust out that beat error. If I pull that beat error back this way, the lever back, that'll shorten the hairspring. It'll get rid of the beat error, and I bet it's going to come flat again. That means it'll increase the accuracy. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but I'd be real surprised if it didn't. So let's see. Ooh, 242. Yeah. Wow, yeah. Yeah, so I just pushed that lever back a hair, and that shortened the effective length of the hairspring. And you'll see we have closer to flat accuracy, and that beat error has started going away. I think a little more of a touch there. Okay, let's try a little bit more. Went too far. Okay, so I gotta go back. A little better. Let's go back again. Making the effective length a little longer. Hey, look at that, huh? Let's try it a little bit more. Okay, there was one more adjustment. Ooh, I might have got it. That's pretty good. Nice numbers, too. Come on. Stop fighting me. Oops. I went to adjust the accuracy and I went too far. I always like to see if I can just get it to just flat accuracy, but it's probably a waste of my time because it still has to run in. Gosh darn it, come on. Ooh, did I get it? I think I got it. No, that's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to mess with that. I don't think I'm going to mess with that. Yep, don't think I'm going to mess with that. That's good for now. Let's let it run in and see what it does. But for starting out fresh, that's pretty good. Okay, time to get the calendar side done. There you can see your new lower mainspring arbor jewel, which is right there. Always one of the first things I want to do is to let me get a little bit more in there. Hang on just 1 second. Okay, and then let's put there that is. That's when we test our mainspring or pallet for the center wheel and cannon pinion interface to see if it's got the right kind of pull, and it absolutely does. That feels great. That feels awesome. It's nice. Okay. A little bit more, just a little bit more. Gotta get in there. Okay, let's just get everything to run around. And we can. Okay, cool. I just have to remember the 80s were a long time ago. Okay. What is he squeaking about? There we go. So I'm going to get this all bolted together, and it is the end of my day. So I'm going to get this all bolted together top and bottom, and then leave it overnight. We will come back to it tomorrow. So I got to figure out what Squeaker McSqueaker turns up to. Come on. Wait, what? That's what I get for trying to do this. Would you stop it? God, you got nothing better to do than fight me on this. It's the first time this movement's been apart since Nixon was president. Maybe wants some freedom, but too bad. Okay, so there's that. Day-date corrector. Let's get that lever in there. Imagination. He's just saying shaving a haircut 2 bits for some reason. I don't know why. I don't even know where he would have learned that. Okay. Last 4 screws, and then we're going to leave it alone. Go upstairs and have some cheese and crackers. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Cheese and crackers. Pickles, too. That's what you want. Some nice spicy dill pickle slices. Come on. Okay. See, that thing kicks over here for us. Come on. You know you wanna. And boink, there she goes. All right, that's it. I'm gonna box it up. That's gonna be the end of it. I'll revisit tomorrow and go upstairs and have some cheese and crackers. And that's what life is all about: cheese and crackers. And blonde Dutch singer girls from the 80s. All right, see you tomorrow. And we are putting it all back together. Dialing hands are on, obviously. Yeah, perfect loom, perfect loom. I love contrast like this. Absolutely perfect unstained loom with this crazy dial patina. There again, you can see all the crazing through that layer. It is wacky, man. That is beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now it's time to start thinking about our case. That is running there. I mean, it's 100% clean. Absolutely. Absolutely just as clean as possible. Couldn't be cleaner. I might have to polish these buttons because they have some corrosion specking around the outside. because the buttons inside, they were filled with like fibers and dirt, and what that stuff does is it holds water against the stainless steel, and it doesn't matter that it's stainless. If you have enough water there, it'll start to rust. And that is in fact what happened. Come on. I see one. Where's the other? Where's the other? Ah, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to need to put these into my Dremel and take a real light polish to it to try to get that a little cleaner. And I'm going to look at this stuff. I see I still have a little bit of corrosion right there. It's surface corrosion, but I need to, right there and there, I need to get that off. Make it prettier, then I'm going to put seals on here. We'll case this up. Okay, final things. Okay, this is the new old stock crystal that you sent. It is it's an early one. There were two versions of these crystals. There was the type 1, which it's basically flat top and bottom, and it's much thinner, and so visually it looks like there's almost nothing there between the glass and the dial. But they are also not nearly as strong as the crystal that was in your father's watch originally, which was a Type 2. The Type 2 is double domed, and it's much stronger. It's domed internally and externally, makes it stronger. So it's fine, you just have to be careful with it. This one has a few minor finishing issues where the glass on the underside. Okay, but that's not why we're here. Why we're here right now, this is your original bezel with the damage from the bonks and things. And you had wanted one that was nicer, not as beaten up. So, okay, so I went and looked through everything I had, and I guess I sort of thought about it like, I don't know, maybe like I would think about it, which is that I would want something that kind of matched how this thing looked in terms of color. And I chose one. If I can figure out which one the heck one I chose, because everything just went kaplunk. I have not that one. See, like this one. This one is not nearly as faded in the blue, but the red is pretty heavily faded. So I was like, I don't think so much about that one. I wanted one that basically had the same tone as your original, and maybe some wear, but not as much. Gosh darn it, which one was it? I had one set aside that was going to be great. Is that it? Yes, it is, because the color tones are the same. But it doesn't have the big chunks and chips out of it. This is probably what I would choose, because it looks the closest to the original one, but without that damage. That's what I would personally do, because you've got the dial patina. I mean, if I were to go with something more like this one's kind of beat up and dirty, but like something more like, like this, just darker, I just don't think it works as well. I don't know. We can talk about it. I'm going to put on the one that I chose. But if you disagree with me, that is entirely fine. Where's this the one? Gosh, I just can't get my brain together. Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's the one. See, you have the same blues and the same shade of red. That's it. This is the one I would have chosen, or the one I am choosing. Sorry for all the mess. Get this stuff out of the way. So this is not set. I'm just holding this here. So it's got some wear, but it's entirely legible, and the colors are the same. It's the same kind of fade, the same reds, but it's just not beaten. That's what I would choose. So I'm going to put that together, and if you change your mind, that's fine, but that's what I'm going to choose.
It comes from upstairs, right?
That's right. So that's what I would choose.
And these knucklers are 1, 2, 3. They're 3 knucklers.
There it is.
What?
Sebastian, I'm talking to the people in my camera. So I personally think that that is the way it ought to be done. I think that's a big improvement. But it shows the original. I think that's just a cool watch. So that's the original right there. And there's this. Right on. So you let me know, but I'd say that's where we need to be.